Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, MJ here. We're going to start with the last day of January, okay, for the daily outlook. I can get busy on the readings. So let's jump on over into it and get started here. All right, here we go, here we go, here we go. Get my microphone down here. All right, hope y'all hearing me good and clear. All right. Remember all my times that I've got listed here. I keep saying this every time. Eastern Standard Time. You have to adjust accordingly for your area. Sunrise is going to come up on the East Coast at 7:21 this morning. Okay? And what we have is the sun, and I have it where the ascending is. Now, I know this is going to help maybe that one person that made the comment that she couldn't understand what was going on. The ascending means that this is rising. The ascending goes through a sign, and it takes about approximately 2 hours, somewhere around there, that it goes through each sign. And as this gets to here, it's going to go into Pisces, which means this is going to move up here like where Capricorn's at. So it's as the rotation of the universe, because our universe also has its own rotation. If you look at a map, you can see that little swirl, okay? Everything is in motion. Nothing really stands still in life, you know? So it's all moving in a certain direction. Then planets are moving, and this is moving. Rotation, even everything. They rotate in their orbit, then they rotate in their own axis. So everything's moving. So anyway, this will jump up, and then we will be, what's going on. Pisces is going to be telling you more or less that something here is going to be coming up, and what you may be dealing with over the next couple hours. And where does these meet up in your chart? Now, we're talking about the sun ascending first, all right? And what we see here is that the sun is trine the moon, which, by the way, is conjunct with the south node. So the moon is feeding something in to that south node, the body, wanting balance. And remember, the node is retrograde. And that node, these nodes, which is the lunar points, the moon's points, it's coming in contact with it. So this is kind of hard to explain without a real visual here, but anyway, make it coherent. It's going to take, this just started in there, so, you know, its next stop will be in about 7 hours. I think I was doing it before, and I said that it was going to be going direct soon. But it's something with this sun trying the moon this morning. It says, okay, I'm coming up, I'm taking over. Mercury's going to be ruling the day, because today is Wednesday as the sun comes up. So the rulership will change from Mars to Mercury, the thought, communication, all that will be going on. And we're waking up. Everybody's waking up now. Most people get up around 6 o'clock in the morning, get ready for their job, get their stuff together, get their showers, their breakfast, whatever. All right. So it's in a trine. Get up, you're waking up, you're starting your morning, you want to have a successful day here. But there's something where the moon in the 9th house, something with the sun being in the 1st house, which is the house of self, right? ourselves, our own personality, our own individual characteristics, something about us, okay, that we have with the sun a purpose here. It's your interpersonal purpose, that inner drive, that energy, the source of will and self motivation. Sometimes we have to really get ourselves and kick ourselves out of the bed to get motivated and get going. And it's a sense of self confidence, strength, individuality, and creativity. This is what all about our soul purpose is. And here, with it trying the moon, we're having to deal with something here that has to do with our actions. Because remember, the North Node deals with mostly the head. Some people call it the dragon. The nodes are known as the dragon that have been separated, the body separated from the head. Okay, even though they're in alignment and they're all in opposition, sometimes we will do things without thinking, like the head's not there, and can create accidents. So kind of keep it in mind. We want to have a balanced day, and we want to be fair, and maybe we have to work within limits here, but we have to make sure that we check ourselves in our actions, that, yeah, we want to be productive. Yes, we want to create. We want to have some success here because of what is happening. Not only that, the sun being in a square, as you can see here, to Jupiter at 13 degrees, which is about the same as where, the moon is at 13 degrees. I'm sorry, at 7 degrees. I was looking at the time instead. But the sun is squaring Jupiter here. And we're talking about air and earth. So our minds are thinking, it's about our skills, it's what we want to create, it's what we know, because Aquarius is the sign of what we know. Our skills. Some people don't know certain things, and they have to rely on others to get the success of going on. And with this sun, they know they have to get up. They have to leave the home. They have to go earn the money. We're talking about Taurus. We have to feed our family. We have to pay our bills. All these things is what we know. We have to get up. We cannot just lay there. We cannot do nothing. We got to fulfill those purposes in life and about our values as well. Okay? There's a challenge here with that when we're talking about squares. We're having difficulty. People may be having difficulty getting up and all this other stuff that's going on here. It's like, what the use? Winter, it's cold. Nobody wants to go out in the cold, right? And go to their job that they maybe don't like, or they're having issues. It's not paying enough, or something here, or not sure if you can have a job tomorrow. But you got to eat. You got to pay the rent. You got to have the gas for the vehicle and all these things. And we're fighting a lot of things. So we know things, we cannot be successful unless we get moving. And that's where our values kick in. This is, and responsibility. It's a habit. It's doing a daily habit that you have to do, right? So, there's a square to this. To Jupiter. You feel like life is not expanding. Life's not going anywhere. I'm doing the same thing every day. I felt this. Oops, sorry. I felt that yesterday afternoon. I felt like, gosh, there's things I want to do and it just doesn't seem like it's moving. I felt that yesterday. It's I want to get some things done. but I just don't know where, I got my goals, I got my plans, I know all that, but it's like time is slowing down. But I kind of pulling cards for myself this morning. I realized that, hey, there is something here with time that's going to start to begin to progress and start moving forward. And this time is going to come fast. We're going to be in March before we know it. And now here on the East Coast, daylight savings time is going to be on March the 12th. Okay? So we're going to have to spring forward in our clocks. So time is of the essence. And this was telling me that, yeah, things feel slow now, but they're going to progress come March. There's going to be a fast movement in time. So February, we might whiz through February, those 29 days, because February is a short month. So something was telling me that, hey, time's going to be picking up and it's going to be moving forward quickly. And before you know it, spring's going to be here. So you may be feeling that like things I'm just kind of going with it. I'm just not wanting to struggle with anything. I want things to start moving. Yes, yes, yes. I want to get started on my goals, my plans, these sort of things. And, but don't try to beat the clock is what I want to say. This would be the time to make sure you sort out through your plans what you're going to start on. Remember, the moon right now is waning. It's not going to be till it gets over here in Aquarius and we have the new moon and it'll be at 20 degrees that this is going to be the new lunar cycle. Because right now, with the moon being over here in the 9th house and the sun being here about the self and our purpose, you're seeking something the heart desires. Something that where we'll get to in a minute. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but let me go back to with Jupiter here. You just feel like time is slow. It's not progressing forward. It will. It's going to come very quickly because February usually don't last very long at all. It's 29 days this year. Every election year, you might as well say you're going to add that leap year in there because way back when somebody screwed our calendars up, right? So we have to throw an extra day in there. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay. So they threw that extra day in when they messed our calendars up. So where was I? Jupiter. So we want things to start progressing, but there's the challenge of it starting to move forward. And like I said, we're seeking something here. Something that the heart wants. The moon is basically dealing with how we express your purpose in everyday activities through your emotions, your attitudes, your habits, your general moods, how you adapt to your environment. It could be about the mother as well. But I'm not really looking at the mother here. I did discuss that yesterday. Most of this is focused on the self need, what you need emotionally here. And you want to have success. we do have the sun sextiling Chiron. Now, this is where Chiron comes in. The sun sextiling Chiron is saying, okay, you've got a purpose. You've got this inner drive, this energy. You got to self-motivate yourself. You got to get your free will up, and you got to get your confidence up and the strength. And I saw that in my reading this morning. So, it's a lot about, I can see it, and some of y'all might say too, but it's about the individuality and being creative today. You got to, and maybe how your emotions are feeling and how you're expressing that purpose through your activities, through your emotions, your attitudes, those habits, the general moods that we have, because the moon is constantly moving. It's the fastest moving thing there. So why, your emotions are going to change on a spin of a dime. Something here could go on, But anyway, with this sun in a sextile to Chiron being about health, you're going to have to, if you want to have this success, then you're going to have to know that there's opportunities for productivity and success. But in order, you're going to have to change the way you mentally think and activate your mind for it to work. In other words, you got to think positive to receive positive, right? And know that when there's challenges or squares that I say here, this is where you need to overcome something. This is where you need to change something about either the way you think or your habits or your moods, and be more positive and up, cheering. It's like, I could give you an analogy here. When I worked for a trucking company where I was building trucks, I got laid off years back. I was out of the work for I don't know exactly how long it was, but anyway, they called me come back to work. But I had held other jobs between that. And I loved it because here I don't have to work but Monday through Friday, and it's a scheduled time, and I have the weekends off, and I can spend it with my kids, and benefits are great, and I love the job. I'm something about rigs and 18-wheelers, diesel smell, fumes. Something about those things just really kind of, I don't know. It's like an endorphin to me. You go to the races and you smell the ethanol, the fuel, those smells. It's like an endorphin to me. I don't know. It's crazy. My dad drove a truck when I was young, so that may be where that connection is with my father, who's gone now. Bless his heart, he's been gone for a long, long time, 30 years, and I miss him. Every day I miss him. But I was, drawn in there through that. So anyway, there's these challenges we're going to have to face, whatever it may be. And so if you want to be productive, you want to have success, and like I was saying with the job, I got called back into the job, and I was there the first week, and I thought, oh God, I'm not going to be able to do this. See, I was already setting myself up in this negative thinking. I'm older. I haven't done this in a long time. Mostly the jobs I was using my mind, not my body. And these jobs were like manual, really body work, strenuous work. So anyway, my particular job on the building of the trucks was doing the airline system, and routing those lines. It was tough because I'm not the only one routing lines. There's other people on the truck, so you're working with these coworkers real close, tight, and so it was kind of difficult. And the trucks were hot because they were coming out of the oven. So anyway, I'm thinking, oh gosh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. I haven't done this in some time. By the end of the week, I was really struggling. I thought, oh, what am I going to do here? What am I going to do? Well, the first thing I did was I changed my mindset. I said, this is not going to beat me. I am not going to let this beat me. I'm going in there Monday. I know how to do that job. I did it years ago. I can do it again. I just got to get my head right on and get in there and do it. You're not using your mind right now. You got to use your body. Work it out in your head the best way to be able to accomplish what you need to do. So I went in there with the mindset on Monday. By the end of the week, I was feeling great. I was back loving my job like I had never left it. So this is what I'm saying. You got to get yourself in a positive mindset. You got to activate that mind and says, you know what? Yeah, I know things in the past with the retrogrades. Remember, retrogrades are always about reconsolidation, reconsideration, all the REs, right? The revisiting something here, what you were seeking before. So, and with it being in that ninth house and in Libra, it's about justice, balance, fairness. You want success. Well, if you want success, you got to think successful. You got to overcome the adversity of, like I was yesterday, just, sitting there thinking, just doesn't seem like anything's going anywhere. And I'm one that just wants progression. I want to progress. I want to build. I want to create. I want to do things. That's the type of person I am. Yes, I'm older. Yes, I have health conditions. Yes, I have limitations. But I ain't dead. Right? And I told y'all yesterday about, there's certain signs or certain characteristics, beta, alpha, there's many different ones, but there's one that's sigma, a sigma characteristic, who is, and I will bring this out next month, about being a rare type of individual, where there's 8 characteristics that you can see whether you set in that. And I have all 8 of those characteristics. Now, it was kind of shocked me. I was like, what? Never even heard of it before. But if you have heard of it, it's SIGMA, I believe is the way it's spelled. I've heard of the alpha, the beta, and I didn't fit in any of those categories. And I always wondered, I'm not an alpha. I'm not one that goes out there and leads the way. And I'm not a beta. I don't just follow people. So where do I fit in? And all of a sudden I saw this and I was reading on it and I'm like, okay, I've got all 8 characteristics of this sigma female. So it was, now I'm kind of learning about myself, which is very interesting to be able to learn about yourself and your own characteristics. And it's like, wow, but they are rare. I don't feel rare. I just feel different. Really different from the normal of society. I'll bring it out. I'm trying to get it together for you guys to show you these things. To kind of get you to learn about yourself. But you have to activate the mind into a positive way of thinking. And Mercury will be ruling the day. All right? And it will change as the sun rises. Remember, the planet rules the day. I done gave you those 7 planets that go, all right? that rule each day. But remember, like I also said at that time when I told you that, there's also within the 24-hour day, which is when the sun rises to when the sun rises the next morning, there's one planet that rules the night, but then each planet of those 7 planets rules in those hours throughout that day, that 24-hour period. And right now, at the time I'm doing this, the day, the sun's coming up. It's up now. I haven't got there yet. But Mercury's going to rule the day. And then the hour will be ruled by a planet. So they have to kind of correspond, get along. Now, we know that Mercury is sitting here in Capricorn and Venus is sitting here. And we'll talk about those in just a minute. But we're talking about the sun sextiling Chiron. There's something here that you have to get a healthy frame of mind, a more positive frame of mind, having a positive future. If you're looking at your life right now like I was yesterday and thinking, well, it's nothing going on, it's not moving forward, I want to get busy, I want to do, there's something I've got to be doing. I don't want to just do the whole drum everyday daily routine. Excuse me. All right. I want to build something on the future. You want a healthy future. I want to create a healthy future for myself. My kids are grown and gone. They got their own families and whatever, in their own homes and all this, and it's me. So I got to do for me. I want a healthy future for myself, healthy relationships, positive outlook. There are things, and I have things I want to devote myself to that I want to achieve. In order to be successful and be productive or have that opportunity for productivity and success, I got to change my attitude. I got to change my mental thinking. And I caught myself saying, okay, yeah, things are slow now, but when I did my reading on myself this morning, the first cards out was time is going to change. You may not feel like it's moving, but it's going to change real fast. Because I had the 8 of Wands, means something's quickly coming in. Action's going to be taken about something with the past that you want to accomplish. On top of that was the time card, Lenormand, time, the clock. That means that time is of essence. There's something about the timing. On top of that was the Kipper deck, change. So it's telling me the time is going to change and things are going to start moving or accelerating. And I can look at the astrology and see that because everything's going direct now, except for Vista and except for the nodes right now. Vista's going to change come February and go direct. So usually in March, I'm looking at something here, really getting active, getting proactive, really looking forward to this, and I've got to get my plans together because the moon is reigning now. But this lunar cycle, I've got to really look at my plans. I've got to really start writing things down on what I'm going to devote myself to and what I'm going to be doing in the future. And the sun is conjunct with the ascending at this moment. Now, with this sun rising, and the biggest thing I'm noticing here, not only the quincunxes, where there's this tug of war, I mean, not really so much of a tug of war, but an adjustment that needs to be made between adapting to something here because of the change that's going to take place, and it's going to happen rapidly or unexpectedly, is what I'm getting out of my own reading. Whatever's to transpire is going to happen suddenly and unexpectedly. But prepare yourself for what's to come. What you seek now at this time, you want victory and success, get prepared. Start making your plans. You don't want to get caught out there trying to do something and you don't have your plans all together. You're going by the seat of your britches. It doesn't work that way. Now, we also have the two quincunxes here that's pointing directly with Vista that's showing me here. Get your mind activated to what you're going to do, that you're going to be devoted to, and you're going to tackle it aggressively. That you want to do here. That's why Mars is considered a masculine energy, because it has aggression to it. Most women aren't aggressive. But if you're a certain type of woman, and you're an independent woman, and you're sort of introverted, and you want to get the things done, then you have to make some sort of adjustments here and get your plans together of what you're going to adjust to, how you're going to make these decisions and adjustments you're going to make in your life. I've already started this month making adjustments and didn't even realize I was doing it. So I guess it was the spirit within me that's guiding me to do what I'm doing, and didn't even realize the path that spirit's leading me down, that God's leading me through. Get yourself prepared, because then there will be the new moon that will happen over here. It'll be at 20. You'll have perfect vision. 2020, sun at 20, moon at 20, 40 minutes in. Yeah. Hello. Change is going to start happening. So get your plans together now on what you want to do. I don't know where you are in the world. I don't know what season you're in. But for us, here in the United States, we're in winter season. It's not going to last much longer. And hopefully, February, that's usually the worst here in the South, from where I'm at on the East Coast, that it's, we got good weather most of the time, but it's been really kind of chilly here lately. So, February is usually our worst month in the state of South Carolina. Usually we have ice, very little snow. If we have a winter mix, it's usually freezing rain and ice, some snow sometimes, but it doesn't last long. So we always, we have good weather, and then sometimes in August it's our worst month. So anyway, let you know that this is coming up. But what with this sun ascending up and what I just went through with the sun and the moon squaring Venus as well here, it's that feminine energy that you want, which was me yesterday, wanting this Jupiter, wanting this expansion, wanting this growth. And apparently God's been guiding me in a direction that I didn't even know he was driving me through any trials and tribulations I may be going through right now with my thoughts. And it's like, hey, girl, child of mine, you need to start thinking more positive. I got your back. I'm here with you. I made a covenant with him, and he's got one with me. And he's there with me. Now, this is important to me because where Venus is going next is in this second decant, which is where Venus was when I was born. It was at 10 degrees. Right now in Virgo. Venus and I believe it was Venus and Mercury joined together in my chart at 10 degrees. So they were conjuncting. So they're kind of feeding off of one another. So anyway, but it's my mind, getting my mind in the right direction in a positive way, getting it motivated. I've had difficult, like I told my son yesterday, I said, I just need a kickstart. He said, well, you need me to kick you in the rear end and get you going? I said, yeah. He said, well, I wouldn't have to kick too high because see, I'm only 4'9". And so we were making the joke about it. But anyway, with this energy that's happening, at what it's creating, we're still dealing with this daggum T-square. We got to work through something here. And it's the South Node that is in opposition. Okay, the opposition is the capacity for awareness and having the objectivity of being aware of something, of an unhealthy thinking, and consciously facing that relationship with what I think with illumination to deal with the frustration. Don't get yourself frustrated. Get your mind illuminated to the ideal. Think more positive. If you're frustrated, stop right then and there and ask yourself, what's on my mind right now? And that was yesterday for me. To look at my thoughts and say, why are you thinking that way? You got to ask that. Illuminate the consciousness awareness of what you're thinking in relation to what you're doing. You're self-defeating something here, so you need to make some adjustments. You need to get proactive so you can have that success you're wanting to take place. Follow me? And that's why I said we got to work through these challenges, these little stumbling blocks, whether it be negative thinking, negative actions. What are you doing to be successful here for your future? What is it that's something of a help with Chiron? The key, always look at Chiron as the key. It unlocks that door of opportunity. And sometimes we have to open our mind. I'm a very open-minded person. I mean, I can listen to other people's ideals, but I'm going to make my own decision and go my own way. That's part of who I am. I'm just going to be me and do it, I'll get the opinions from others and get some feedback, but it's my decision because it's my life. So I will make the decisions in the way I think to what I'm going to do. Because remember, the new moon, it starts the new lunar cycle that we go through. When we have the first quarter of the moon, that's when we plant the seed. When it's that half moon, okay, not quite full moon yet, when it's that half moon, we nurture it. If you have a plant, you got to give it water, right? You got to give it all the nutrients it needs to make it grow. You got to cut away, you got to weed things out. And then that third quarter is when you look at it and you see, looks pretty good. Or that full moon hits. And those emotions are real intense. And we're going to have that new moon in February is going to be in Aquarius. Shoot. What is going on here? Wait a minute. I got the wrong calendar. Lord have mercy. Jesus, help me. Lord, help me. Help me, help me, help me. Yep. The new moon is going to be at an Aquarius. Like I said, at 20/20. The moon and the sun, 40/40. And the full moon is going to be in Virgo. Ooh, I like that. Even though that's not my moon, but you know, I do like the Virgo moon because it's internalizing something of what you feel, uh, taking your feelings and going within, being introverted, and sorting out why you're feeling something here, working through the puzzle, uh, working through whatever emotional things that you need to work through. So we know that the apex here is dealing strictly with Mars. What are you doing about something here? Yeah, there's these little stumbling blocks, but there's a little challenge. You got to do something. You got to unlock the door. And I'm looking at it. I've been uh uh kind of hermit mode, which I'm a Virgo, so I am kind of hermit mode. I love being at home. I'm a homebody person, but I like doing my own thing and whatever. And you can tell that. But sometimes you got to go unlock the door and walk outside. And so, you know, I think I might do that today. Sometimes you got to get out there and take care of things that you got to take care of. I always do it. It's always seems to be around the first of the month when the bills all get paid and all this gets done. Errands got to be run and all that kind of stuff. All right, at 11:36 today, we see that the moon in Libra is in an opposition. I'll bring it up. It has this opposition with Chiron, but it's also, Chiron is connected to North Node, is conjunct with the North Node. The moon is conjuncted with the South Node. So there's something here of where your feelings are right at this point of time. And the ascending, I'm going to move this kind of quick here. I don't want to get with trying to help that person that has trouble. She can deal with the cards, but she gets confused with the astrology. The ascending now, you can see it was here in Aquarius because the sun was coming up. Now it's over here in Taurus. It's like a clock. It's like the hands on the clock that are moving. It's almost like this is the hour hand, okay? And this is the smaller hand. So let's go over to where Taurus is ascending at this time. Hold on a minute. Just gonna see it jump. There we go. Okay. Now the ascending is in Taurus. And we're talking about the moon here. The moon in opposition, because now this is up. So I don't know what's going on today. I mean, I do see that there's T-squares here that I'm going to talk about. It does have to do with these nodes. It does have to deal with the moon. And it does have to deal with Chiron. And it also has to deal strongly with Mars. Because of all this stellum of energy. We still, even though Pluto is over in Aquarius now, it carries that energy. It's had some influence why it was there in Capricorn. And it's like, don't y'all close the door, Pluto's saying, because I'm going to be coming back over there at the end of the year. I'm going to come over there and finish stuff up. And then I'm gone. Then I'm going to be over in Aquarius for the next 20 years, doing my little damage over there. Or trying to get people going in the right direction. Making them face something that they don't want to face. The truth, the light. Giving them knowledge. But right now, when you have a stellum of planets, and all of them are these internal planets, this is like the mind, the communication, the vocal cords, the head, okay? This is the body. Mars is like the body. It's what action you take, how you go after something, How aggressive are you towards something? How much do you really devote yourself to something here and doing it? And then Venus is the capacity to love what you're doing. Or capacity to open your heart to love and about your values. And you show that attitude. Now, with Venus being in Capricorn, there's a lot about controlling what the heart feels or the capacity to love. A lot of people may be sort of trying to control their emotions because so much of this T-square, Lucifer's rectangle, the mystical rectangle, the unknown, about the future, we just come out of this time period of, since 2008, of Pluto going through Capricorn, just creating havoc and hell, and things were good and then they're going bad, and it's like, geez. I mean, we're talking about since back in 2008, 2010, it's kind of been like, God, I'm glad that time is over with. I am so sick of it. But people are a little leery now because of what they've been through. I myself included in that. I can't say I can't exclude myself from it. But we are talking about the moon in Libra in opposition to that key. So again, I'm saying the awareness and the objectivity and consciously facing your relationship with what you're thinking, or the awareness of, with either the illumination, or you're going to get frustrated like I was yesterday. I'm frustrated with the way I'm thinking. I don't like it. And I have to realize and illuminate myself to, hey, light bulb goes off, you're thinking like this because it's wintertime, it's cold. Things just don't seem like they're moving. But when I did my cards this morning, time's going to come very quickly. Things are going to get really moving after March the 12th. On March the 12th, when it goes to daylight savings time and we spring forward in our time, time is going to be a big importance here. Okay? And all this energy is right now like, just control yourself, just calm yourself down. It's going to be okay. Just keeping yourself aware that right now you got to make some decisions. You can't do this or you can't do that. Not a whole lot of building going on, not a whole lot of this going on or whatever. But there's going to be a sudden change that is going to appear out of nowhere. And it can be radical. It can be shocking. It could be illuminating. And you're going to have to make some decisions here and be willing to make the necessary adjustments. Because if you don't, you're not going to survive something here. You've got to have that courage to make that decision. That is the biggest thing. So don't get your mind clogged full of a bunch of negativity saying, I can't do this and can't do that and blah, 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 blah. Yes, you can. But we're looking with the moon right now. Now, we know the moon is squaring Mars right now as well. There's a square to the Mars. Mars, like I said, that T-square, and I'm going to show it to you. The moon is squaring Mars here. And then there's the square from Mars. It's at the apex of everything. This challenge is focusing to there. Getting busy, doing something here. You're being sort of challenged, but yet there's stumbling blocks there. And is it what you're thinking that you're getting so frustrated about? Could be, very well be. Change your mindset. And I do see that, yeah, there's a conjunction here with Pluto. It's like seeing where the mess is and getting it cleaned up. Because Pluto does create destruction. It will tear things down so you can rebuild your life. It will take away what's not needed no longer, that no longer serves you, if you're being real and being authentic with yourself, that this is no longer good for me. And dealing with the destruction it created and saying, okay. And then looking at the damage and saying, yep, my life sure did go through a sudden change. And yep, it sure did wreak a lot of havoc. It's like the flood comes in, the earthquake happens or whatever, and you got to go out there and you got to clean up the mess. And so now would be the time to make those plans to clear your foundation out and build all new now. And I'm ready. I'm excited, but I feel like it's a positive note for me to see this morning that time is going to start moving very quickly. And it's going to change. No more delays, no more nothing. It's time to get going. And unlock that door. The doors of opportunity. And if you notice something here, I want to say this, and this was really strange because it's being with Taurus right now. The major arcana that deals with Taurus is the Empress. Taurus shares that with Libra. The growth, the stability, the creation. But what are you creating? Are you creating destruction? Are you destroying things? Or are you really building something here? That's the thing. Because this over here, Taurus, has values. This is what over here, you work for what you want to accomplish. You know you got to have the funds to be able to build something, right? So you put your butt out there and you get the work done, knowing what the cost is and what you got to do, plus being able to pay your bills and put the food on the table, pay the lights, whatever, put the gas in the car, whatever it is you got to do to have that growth. Over here, with Venus, with the Empress, remember, she is like the emperor. But yet, the emperor conquers, but the Empress creates. And she, like Mother Nature, there's got to be balance there. Everything's got to be in balance. And here it is, definitely. But what with the Hierophant here being also that that points out to Taurus, because the Hierophant is Taurus, the Empress is Venus. You gotta love what you're doing. You gotta expand and grow. You gotta control your money, your resources. You gotta have the values. You gotta respect things. You got to have that attitude, the right attitude, and the capacity to love whatever it is that you're doing and what you're seeking, because now this is in the 9th house. And Capricorn is all about that control, but yet creation. Creating something, but having the ability to face adversity and not get yourself caught in a bind of something. Because remember, the devil and the world rule these two. Saturn is the world card, and the devil is Capricorn. Now, not to say that all Capricorns are devils. They're obsessive, yes, about things. They want to control the resources. They don't want to let things go. They want to get it done, but they don't want to let things go. They want to hang on to what they got. And There's something about value. So we have the moon squaring Mars. It has the opposition to the North Node. It's conjunct with the South Node, so you're looking at things here in the past, all right? And then there's the opposition to Chiron with the North Node that I was just talking about. And that T-square you're dealing with. The big thing here is the T-square with the North Node. You know, with the apex of Mars, it's the square. It's the top part here. Now, the opposition where it comes in at that's important here is the moon of something being unhealthy. That has to deal with the awareness of what it is to bring something into your light, the purpose, your purpose in life. Or the frustration you're dealing with on that T-square. Then we also have the T-square here of the South Node with Mars and back to Chiron. So we have these two together, these energies forming, and Mars being the apex. You got to do something here. And you know you want to do something. You want to get something done. But maybe you're frustrated with you don't have the resources to do what it is you want to get done. And you're quite very well aware that you don't have it right at this time. So it's just a little stumbling block, you know? Don't let those little stumble blocks get in the way. There was something about in the Bible about stumbling. And it came to me, something about, I don't know, maybe my son will hear this and he'll clear me up on it. I just always look at it that when I stumble, I know the Lord's there going to be picking me up. I'm saying, okay, dust yourself off now. You're going to be okay. I got your back. You just keep moving. Get that little rock out of the way. It's going to be okay. And then we go on to where the moon is at, let's see where the ascending is now. It's in Cancer here. So Cancer this is at 3:18 in the afternoon, Eastern time. So if we go over to, I'm going to go to preferences and I'm going to go to Cancer because this will be the ascending where it is. It has a lot to do with the moon because the moon rules Cancer. So there's going to be something that's going to come up. Might be your mood, could be your emotions that are coming up. At this time, because the moon being in Libra, something about your fourth house, your home, your family, that security. Now, you see, I told you 7 hours. Now, this is going to be direct. These nodes are going to be direct now for 2 days. 2 days and 3 hours. So whatever it is, you're trying to sort out something here. And we're coming to like the end of the day. Remember, we still have those T-squares that all of it's dealing over here with Mars. And the moon is at 17 degrees, exactly 51 minutes in. I didn't even notice that. Exactly 51 minutes in to make a successful day around 3 o'clock. Maybe you're working through some challenge here. We do have a trapezoid, okay, going on here at this time. What is a trapezoid? All of this is above where you can see it. This is where some people would say getting too comfortable. We see it's making up a trine here. It's making up a trine here. It has sextiles, three sides, walls of the foundation. The walls are all sextiles, which are really activating your mind to what you feel, the capacity to love. There may be limits here with Saturn because you can see the sextile. One wall goes from Venus over to Saturn here. From Saturn, it goes to Jupiter. From Jupiter, it goes to the ascending. So this is coming up. And there's an opposition with Venus and the ascending. So we have two trions. It's like, don't get comfortable in this position. Okay? Don't get complacent. Don't let yourself get caught in something here where it, you feel good about it. Because you're limiting, with this being an opposition, don't limit yourself the capacity to feel. And don't limit your values. And this may be where you also have to change something about your attitude and express what you need, in your love life. If it has to do with love, don't settle. If it's not meeting the needs, then why are you dealing with it? Because this is definitely somewhere with Saturn here in the first decan of Pisces, but the term belt is dealing with Venus. If you want love, you got to think positive. You got to feel love to be able to give love, right? You got to love yourself to love others. If you don't love yourself, you're certainly not going to love others. You've got to have the capacity to feel love and see if whatever you're getting involved in, if you share the same values. I mean, who puts a limitation on love? If you got people that you're dealing with that are saying, well, I like you, or, we can go out every once in a while, or, we can be friends. Okay, fine, we'll be friends. Whatever. Having that capacity, and if somebody puts restrictions or tries to structure love, I don't think I'd want that. You got to share it with somebody you have the same values with. And nobody should have to contain their love or control it. Or if you're dealing with somebody here that's that way, why would you deal with somebody like that? I can't comprehend that. I know there's a time in my life where I was terrified, absolutely terrified to show anybody how much I cared. And I get it, because when the moment I did show how much I did love, it was almost like people thought they could control me. Oh, you're going to do what I want you to do because you love me. Not really. You shouldn't have to ask. Somebody shouldn't say, you're going to do what I want you to do because you love me. No. Sorry. So I don't really want to. I want to love someone, but I want them to share the same values I have. And so I stepped up and ascending into that if I can't meet somebody we don't have the same values, or that we're both willing to work at something here. We're both going to put 100% in, you know, we're both after the same dream or whatever that may be. Um, you know, I, I can compromise, but I'm not going to give my power over to someone else to control me and say, you don't need to know everything. Well, you know what? If you got a partner that tells you something like that, you better get the hell away from them, because that means they're hiding secrets from you. That means they're lying to you. That means they're deceiving you. And if that's the way they are, get the hell away from them. No. Don't get comfortable in something here, because even though Jupiter in a trine or Venus in a trine with Jupiter, I would say that for a lot of you that have had really, really, really bad relationships, I mean, seriously bad, there's something good going to come. Even though fire and earth don't, they're two cardinal signs here. There can be some aggression, there can be some passion, yes, but kind of control the flame. Don't let it get too much where it kind of burns up resources. You see what I'm saying? Don't get too aggressive or fall for somebody that really is going through the resources and burning it up. You got to have it. You got to make compromises here. You know, can't get everything done in a day. I mean, you're not God. He did it all and built a universe in 6 days and rested on the seventh. Well, we're not God. Okay, I know people think we are, but we're not. We're God's creation. We are not God. I have a handle, and I still got that handle. It's called Lady by Design. And I had people ask me, why did you have that name? And I said, well, I'm a lady that's created by God's design. I just didn't put the word God in there. Lady by design. I was created particularly with what he had in mind. And it didn't dawn on me till here sometime recently when I said, I am a woman after God's heart. So the heart that he gave me was specifically designed by him. In order, I have to glorify him so he can glorify me. So that way I can glorify him through the world of who he is as a creator, as a designer. But yeah, he creates people like me. And so, with that being what it is, don't get too complacent. Got to work through things. You got to make decisions. You know, we have the ascending and a quincunx to the sun here. You got to make a decision about what you're feeling. Is it dealing with something with your mood? Don't box yourself in. Don't get yourself in a trap in some way here. Always have the courage when something comes along that you feel like you're getting stuck or trapped into something. So I'm not going to allow myself to be caught up in some kind of mess, in a way of thinking or a way of acting, because Uranus is going to create something here. It's going to bring in this sudden change, and it's coming, y'all. I keep saying, and everybody's like, when? Well, it's going to be good, and guess what? Whatever, I kind of look at it like I said, I have a covenant with God, a promise with him, and he fulfilled my promise. What I prayed for, And I said, whatever your will be, and I will accept whatever it is. And now I have that covenant with him. Now, my problem is I'm a 4'9" woman. I'm older, but I still got to fill this covenant with him. A promise I made. And that's between me and him. Nobody else's business. But you got to have the courage to make the decisions that need to be made. And I don't have a problem making decisions. I've been making them all my life. You know, I don't ever really remember being, the last time I remember being a child was maybe about 5 when I played with dolls, 3 to 5. By the time 7 came, when I turned 7 years old, it was like all of a sudden I had to grow up. I had to make really sort of adult decisions. And I had to put away childish things. Now I know what happened in my life at that age. So, okay. It's there with me. But it made me grow up real fast. I don't remember having a childhood after that age. After 7. It was like I went from, 7 to 14, preteens. What the hell happened? Because in the fall of my years between that 14 to 21, I got married at 17, had my son at 19, and that's where life started for me, was being a mother and working, taking care of my then husband, my child, my son, my home, building a home, starting this new life, and I thought it was going to be forever, but that only lasted 4 years, and wow. So, things happen. So I'm not going to cry over it. It was a decision I had to make. That was the right decision at the time to make. Now, we got Leo coming up. That's going to be ascending here during the day. Where's my thing at? There it is. Okay. We got Leo ascending up. So we're going to go ahead and move this to Leo. And this will be the 12th hour of the day. So we're halfway through the day. And what's ruling this hour is Mars. Even though Mars is descending, and Leo's coming up, the sun will be descending. The sun will be setting shortly, within an hour. Or really less than an hour. Won't be long and it'll be descending. Because the sun will set at 1752, right on the horizon, here. And the ascending will be here. It will be bringing up. It will be halfway through Leo. So what is so important about this time is the moon in its quincunx. That is the one I was doing, yeah. 1748, yeah. I had to make sure I had the right time. This will be ascending, like I said. The moon being in Libra, let me find it, it's down here. It's coming up, so it's going to be the moon rising. So it'd be something here that's going to be taking place. And this moon, again, is squaring Mercury now. Time to rest the mind. You've activated it. You did your planning. You worked half the day, 12 hours. It's time to take that time for you and rest your mind. Now, I know a lot of women or men, some men, they do if they're work during the day, then in the evening they have to do dinner and cooking and all this. Make it a family thing, if you can. Get the kids involved. But, right now, this moon is squaring the Mercury. It's also squaring Mars. About this, you want to move forward, direction forward, some sort of action. Be careful, I will say, because if you're going after something too aggressive to get it done, there can be accidents. All right? So pace yourself here, in some way. Always pace your aggression towards something, not in a rush, not in a now. Okay? It's time to rest the mind, enjoy life. And just, like I said, pace your progress. And if you do pace your progress, you will move faster a lot quicker. Because you're pacing yourself, right? You don't, we had the race between the rabbit and the tortoise. Who won the race? The tortoise. Because if you're going too fast and too rapid, you're going to get distracted, right? From things. And accidents happen. So pace yourself. And your mind will be more, you won't get frustrated. You can have that positive thinking. Because there is, with Uranus here in this quincunx, with the moon, and the south node in a quincunx to Uranus. Don't rush the change. It's coming. And then we also have the moon conjunct with the north node, or I'm sorry, opposition to the north node. And like I said, this is this combined energy with the past and what we're doing, what we're trying to accomplish. As well as the opposition with Chiron, these two energies over here. So we have an opposing force to that key of Chiron to unlock the door of opportunity. But if we pace ourselves and think more positive, that challenge, you will overcome it. And have the courage to make the decisions you got to make. Because there's something coming up that has to deal with having the confidence and the courage, because that's what Leo is about. And I'm a Leo ascending. So you got to have that confidence. You ever notice a lion, when it's looking at something, it'll stand there and just look. It don't just rush off to go attack something. First, it's checking the scenery out, right? It's looking on the horizon. What's there? So it's looking over here. It's time to relax the mind. Find the peace. Find that serenity. Don't let yourself become overcome with this square. And think, well, I've done that where sometimes during the day, at the evening, I'm like, well, I didn't get nothing done today. So, is this your last day? If it's your last day on earth, why are you worried about it? It's just time to enjoy life as well. But then again, like I said, having that courage to change, be able to change whatever is making your mood, or you're having this attitude in love, or what your needs are in love. Don't give up on love. Because right now, all this in Capricorn is in the 6th house. Your daily duties, just going over certain things. Your work, how you worked, what you did, what decisions did you make today? What did you look at? What are you planning here? What are you devoting yourself to? I know what mine is, but I ain't telling nobody. I mean, I did tell a couple of people, but they were so close to me that, you know, there is a change here where the ascending has this trine with Chiron. The opportunity or to where is it? I'll find it in a minute. Yeah, Chiron to the ascending is trine. I couldn't really tell which one those two were, which one was which, but there is an opportunity. With trines, it's being your creative self expression, and it can bring ease and comfort so that it can be, sometimes it can be missed. But it's also, feeling like you have a vision, you have an insight now, and you want to be, that's where you want to put that, when I said with the sextiles of the productivity, the trine and the sextile kind of work hand in hand. When you get that vision and you get that insight, then you can put it into your head. This is what I want to devote myself to. And you know it now. By the end of the day, you know. Yeah, did I work on something here that was a challenge and a stumbling block for me? Did I just take it a little bit at a time? Like I said, pace yourself. Now we're going into the later hours, and the day is still ruled by Mercury, but now the night is ruled by the sun. So let's go with the ascending being in Virgo, because the ascending always stays on this over here on the horizon. So this could be for others in the other part of the world, wherever you may be. That ascending, I said, is in Virgo. So we're going to flip it over to Virgo for a minute there. Midheaven always stays above. Like I said, it's like the hands on the clock. And now we're looking at 2100 hours, which would be, 9 o'clock? 18, 19, 20. Yeah, 9 o'clock. So we're looking at 9 o'clock around that time. And the sun has descended under the horizon. So it's on the other side of the world. But our night is ruled by this sun. So there's something where a focus or attention, a purpose, usually down here is what you can't see. It's like this is what's up in the light, but it's kind of flipped now because of the night, and the sun's down here on the other side of the world. What you can't see is happening over on the other side of the world because what? We're sleeping on this side of the world. So it's the tilt of the earth, sort of, where the sun points to it. We do have the moon. It's still in Libra, okay, and it's going to be there. So I'm, almost there, squaring Mars in again. This still got this square where the moon is squaring Mars, North Node. Okay, the opposition's there. Now we have, with this T square, we have another one showing up in the evening, at night, on this side of the world. And it's something here about dreams, visions, your goal, your destiny. Are you doing what you want to do? Are you accomplishing something here? You still maybe you'll have a dream about something here of the future, or something here of what you're going to devote yourself to. Are you accomplishing that, or is there some restrictions you're limiting yourself? Because this with Neptune here is all about Mars. And remember, the first square is dealing with Mars. Are you handling this challenge of what you're thinking here? Are you dealing with something here and clearing things up and moving forward and going to unlock that opportunity in the future? Because when this moon gets over here, you're going to be looking at that key. So what you want to unlock here, there'll be a big emphasis on health, something here, the health of something, your health, whatever that house is with Aries, wherever it lies in your chart. I'm a Virgo, so I'm looking at here. So for me, it's the 8th house. And the 8th house is that of death, regeneration. It's we go through processes of change. It's power. It's about taking your power back. It's also that ending of something, but something regeneration within you. Something has ended, but something else rises up in its place. Every time there's something that dies, a dream dies or whatever, but there's another dream there. You're reinventing or regenerating new dreams, new visions. And it's also, some sexual activity as well. This could be where you have shared assets and finances, legacies and wills that you share. That 8th house, usually it's ruled by Scorpio, so it's something we desire here to share with another person. And Virgo's really good about sharing. They like to share with others, but the other person's got to be willing to give. If Virgo gives 100%, you better damn well be ready to prepare to put your 100% in too, to work with Virgo. Because Virgo's only going to, put up with so much garbage, and especially when you've got one that maybe have gone through some, devastations or destruction or whatever it was that was very difficult in their life. And I know a lot of Virgos, and I do mean a lot of Virgos, that have gone through crap. And I have felt every one of y'all's pain because I was going through it right along with you. But believe you me, Virgos, this is your moment of regeneration. It is. Now, granted, Pluto's going to come back one more time in the end of the year, and it's going to look at things, and then at 29 degrees, 29 is that of departure. It is gone. Once it's ready to depart, it's just stepping in there to see what final touches need to be done. Are you being authentic to yourself? Have you taken your power back? Because I guarantee you, Virgos, whatever was done to you, when it moves in Aquarius, it's going to do it to those outside others. But it's going to be more powerful over there on them than it ever was on you. Because I know that Virgos are survivors. They're a mutable sign. It takes time for them to adapt, to adjust to the change. But once they're on that road and they've healed themselves, because y'all are great healers, it takes y'all a little while to heal. And sometimes people don't have patience for you to go through your process. But you do it at your time. Everybody has that switch in them that will switch, come on, and say, I've had enough. And when you've had enough, and that switch hits, only you can decide when your healing takes place. Only you can decide, I'm healed from this now. Whatever I went through, I'm done with it. And I'm ready to regenerate now. I'm ready to grow. I'm ready to expand. I'm ready to build. Right? And this may be the final stage of my life, But you know what? I'm going out with a bang. Because the next thing we have going on here is we got this grand trine that's setting up here, and the universe heard you. Okay. Okay, and it's where is it? It's at Uranus. There's a sudden change that is going to take place. And it's going to feel so good. To help you mentally. To just, don't miss the opportunities of the changes. Look for them. Look for that sudden change of events that will come in unexpectedly. They're going to happen. Because the apex on this has to be Uranus here. It's going direct now. It's moving forward. So the 2 points here with the ascending of what's coming up with Virgo, yep, look at it. It's all earth. All earth. Your values. Things with you are now changing. You're coming to find what you were seeking. And it's coming at you. Get ready, Virgos. I'm telling you. Y'all better get ready. Because your mindset's changing. There's going to be that lightning bolt to your mind. You're going to get these new, fresh ideals. You're going to start looking that way to do whatever it is you want to get done here. And then you got the grand trine to Mars. That switch. There's I feel like for you Virgos, there's new people coming in your life. There is a new love affair, a romantic interest that is going to be coming in your life because this is your 5th house. And there is somebody coming in that's ready to maybe share those resources with you. They're seeking the same thing you're seeking. And they're going to help you build. And you're going to help them build that life together. And it's going to be, oof, Virgos. Don't miss this opportunity. Don't miss it. Take the chance on something that is you weren't expecting. It's okay. Then the moon rises at 23, which would be 11:30. And yeah, we got these T-squares here. Now, the ascending is in Libra again. But we already have seemed like we were already in that Libra house. No, we weren't. It was opposite. All right. Oh. Now the ascending, the moon's coming up. And the moon is rising. Virgo's up. And the night, sun's still ruling the day. So there's something here with this sun in the 5th house that something's going to be illuminated. And it's a challenge. Are you open to the possibilities? Is what I want to say. Even though we have a square, T-square here again with this moon to Mars and Mars to Chiron, or or to the North Node. It's the North Node. It's about your future, something in your home. I got a feeling y'all gonna have someone coming in y'all's life, and in mine as well. I have to say it. that you're going to hook up with somebody here that is going to really bring in a change, really a transformation in your life. And I don't know who deserves it better than Virgos. Virgo has waited their time. I remember, when I used to go on YouTube, I had, people, that I work with, clients I work with and all, and they were meeting people, and I thought, and people like, well, poor Virgos, I felt so sorry for them. I really did. They tried, and they tried, and they tried, but they just never seemed to get where they wanted to get. And it was, it just didn't work out. And so they were just like, please, please. And I'm like, y'all wait, your time's coming. And I talked about this year particularly. 3 years ago, I was talking about this year, that it's going to be the year for you guys. And it's happening. It's between 2024 and 2025. These 2 years is going to be, by the end of 2025, it's going to be life altering. You're going to be setting in a new motion of moving forward in your life. And we also have it with, now again, there's also Mars, the ascending, the moon with Mars to the north node, something with this moon in connection with the ascending, this coming up at night, and the hours being ruled by the 17th hour. We got 7 more hours to go over the night before the sun rises again. So there's some with Saturn here in the descending. There's some limitations here in your duties. You're limiting what you're going to do now at 11:30 at night. Usually we're just getting ready to go to bed, and that's it. Dream time. I'm not doing anything else or whatever at the end there. We do have the midheaven. See, midheaven's coming in now at that late night, almost 11:30. The moon is going to be on the horizon. And something's coming up here. I don't know what it is, but it could be something with you, with change that's going to be taking place, or you're dreaming about a change. Some of you that may get dreams that I don't want to put this. It's like spirits talking to you through your dreams. And it takes me, I don't just jump into rationalizing what dreams I have, especially when they're very profound dreams, like I told you about the snake. I don't just automatically just assume this is what it is. I look at the meanings for each thing. So, like snakes, something with sexuality, very well could be. But there's something where there's all the snakes of something. Be careful of temptation or deception around you. You're on this mound. You're leveling up. You're coming up. And that's what I said. When I interpret dreams, it's like whatever spirit wants me to know for me. And you would have to do that same thing. And we also have the T-square here between the moon and the ascending. That's connected here with Venus and Mars as well. But again, remember, anytime you see the little dotted brown lines on my charts, that's a quincunx. That means there's something you definitely have to make some sort of adjustment, because the energies are not matching. They're working kind of against each other. So you've got to have the courage to make a decision here to find some sort of compromise. Like, let's say I'm 65 years old, which I am, not going to lie about it. I'm proud to be 65. I've lived a pretty good life. Not always great, but pretty good. I'm 65. I have health disabilities, which you all know about. And I'm limited in what I'm capable of doing. I can't walk for far distances, even though I love walking. I kind of push myself sometimes, and I got to be careful about that because I want to walk. I want to go. So I have to take it, I have to pace myself. So, and I have to stay a lot of hydrated. But there's a point I was getting to here, and all of a sudden it's like, where in the hell did it go? Oh, I'm, I've got limitations I have to work through. Like one summer, I couldn't keep dragging these long extension cords out with the weed eater all the way out to the front of my property and weed the ditch and, trimming trees with this thing because I'm 4'9". See, I'm work with limitations. So I have to figure out and activate my mind to be more productive. This is what I want to do. Now, how am I going to do it? I'm not a muscle woman. I have a limited ability of strength, but there's got to be something out there that I can lever to match my strength or whatever I'm doing here to get it where I can move it. Because God tells us there's nothing, you can move mountains with just your mental thoughts. And so I was moving my obstacles out of my way using my mind, thinking. I want to get this done, but how am I going to do it when I can't physically just walk around like that and do it? So I figured it out. If there's a will, there's a way. So remember that's the thing about with these quincunxes. You've got to make some sort of having the courage to make the decision, to make an adjustment to what it is that you have to succeed forward. And especially whatever you're going to devote yourself to, your purpose that you want to take this action toward, and Mars being in that square, you're just going to have to pace yourself. Having patience and taking those baby steps and moving forward. You can't get it done overnight. Like I said, we are not God. I mean, I've heard somebody say that, oh, we're gods here on earth. No, you're not. There is one true God. You are not a God. You are a creation of God. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that argument. I will debate that on another day. All right, the last thing we have here at the end at 11:32, which usually this is when I will already be in bed, and everybody else will be going to bed. We do have again the T squares that we're dealing with, and the ascending is still here because it's only moved a few, just a little bit. And it's bedtime, and it's time to put it to rest, put the mind to rest, relax, take a deep breath, do whatever meditation you may do, because everything right now here is kind of like focused with this moon. Now it's time to rest the body, it's rest the mind, and go into this dream state. Allow yourself to have those visions and those dreams, and allow spirit to come in. You know, ask God to talk to you. Tell him, Lord, I know I used to, there was one thing I used to do a many years ago after my father had passed. I asked the Lord many times, Lord, can I just spend just a little bit of time with my father? Can I have a talk with him? And not at that moment, but all of a sudden I would dream about my dad and I would have a conversation with him. Um, and I would wake up feeling better because I felt like I drew that strength. I just needed to see him. That's all I needed. And his reassurance, I'm here. I'm here with you. I haven't gone anywhere. Now, I haven't had dreamed about him in a long time, but, you know. But right now, it's the focus with the moon and getting that rest and making that peace. And what a way to end the month of just, putting it to bed and saying, tomorrow is another day. And with that, I'm going to close and thank you for being here and thank you for joining me. And I hope this has helped that one person that has a little bit of trouble with the astrology, of knowing that sort of like the ascending and the midheaven are those points in just like the nodes are points of direction. Okay? Like the ascending, clock on the hands, what's on the horizon, what's above. Okay? Where you are in your life at this point in time. And I wish you much love, much happiness, and much success. Keep the positive thinking up. Keep working toward your goals. Don't let nobody steal your dreams from you or your visions you have for the future. They're yours. They belong to you. And if you want to share them with others, that's totally up to you. But don't let anybody else come in and steal those dreams and those visions. Okay? With that, I'll close and say goodbye for now.